Hello and welcome to the 5th edition of AUP7 News. I'm Erin Stranyak.
And I'm Sarah Costlow.
The French are celebrating this week after several first-place finishes at the 2010 World Fencing Championships. French national Marine Nassima captured the gold in women's individual épée, while the men took home the gold in the team competition. And also in the sports world, the AUP basketball team kicked off its 2010 season. AUP7's Perumal Mannankatti has the story.
AUP played its first game for the 2010 basketball season and came out a winner, beating a team from Paris Architecture School with 44 points difference, 71-27. This game means a lot to AUP ball players since the team performed poorly last season. Some say they lack team chemistry.
First game of the season, on a good start. We started on the right note. We weren't really united as a team. We were just for self-satisfaction. But now there's a little bit more of like a brotherhood. We're not there yet, but we're developing one.
It's still early to say how the whole season will go. We had one match played so far, but I think it started very positively. What it means to compete for a university team, and based on that, I think that we will quite have a very positive season, if not even successful season.
They did that well despite AUP's built-in handicap with ever-changing team as students come and go. Perumal Mannankatti for AUP7.
Thanks, Peru. This week, the AUP exhibition continues, featuring artist Judith Wolfe's blue painting. The show opens November 18th and ends December 7th, and will be displayed in the Fine Arts Gallery in the Combs Building. Judith Wolfe mingled with friends, old and new, and revealed the meanings behind her blue paintings at the exhibit's Vernissage.
Always a structure that is related to an experience, a visual experience or an emotional experience.
After a series of tornadoes tore through France, ripping up trees last winter, Wolfe was inspired. Her paintings depict distorted images of figures in shades of black, blue, and gray that are largely inspired by her work in Impressionism. Wolfe says she always paints on paper because she believes there's something very free about it. Pressed for space, Wolfe created paintings she could roll up to store. One example is a collage of many parts that she added and removed over the years and describes as a patchwork. Wolfe says she paints to express herself, but always tries to paint hopeful paintings, despite occasional feelings of remorse or despair.
But whatever you see comes from, a knowledge, experience, and then a very deep concern.
Judith Wolfe's blue paintings will be on display in Combs until December 7th. The next time you're passing through, you may want to stop and take a look. Sarah Costlow, AUP7.
And the 2010 fall edition of AUP magazine is now available online. The publication is a collection of articles on career advice, campus news, and alumni affairs. For more information, check the university website.
AUP honors Armistice Day by closing for a 4-day weekend. I examined the holiday a little closer to give students a better idea of what Armistice Day is about. The rain and gray skies seem to set the somber mood this Armistice Day. A sea of black umbrellas flooded the streets of Paris to watch as wreaths of flowers were delicately placed on tombs and statues in honor of Armistice Day. While AUP acknowledges Armistice Day by canceling classes, many students may overlook the day in anticipation of a long holiday weekend. The guns fell silent on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918 when an armistice, or an agreement to end war, was signed to officially end World War I. Armistice Day was made a public holiday here almost 90 years ago and remembers all of the veterans who fought in France's wars. The American version is Veterans Day, and many other countries who fought in the war have their own version as well. Armistice Day is a solemn day, much like a funeral, remembering those who fought or died in wars involving France. Every year, the President of France participates in a wreath-laying ceremony, and the flame is relit at the tomb of the unknown soldier under the Arc de Triomphe in remembrance of the dead from World War I and World War II. The ceremony attracted tourists and Parisians to see the military parade down the Champs-Élysées. Others went to the Army Museum to explore history and pay their respects at l'Hôtel des Invalides. Whatever way people chose to participate, generations of families, from grandparents to children, were brought together all over France to honor those who fought and died for their country. Sarah Costlow, AUP7.
Thanks, Sarah. Adjusting to life in France can be difficult, and many students have found the Carte de Sejour process to be exceptionally tedious. Here with that story, AUP7's Grace Donoso.
Long lines, paperwork, and in some students' cases, missing class. Is the Carte de Sejour process leaving you confused and stressed out? Well, you're not alone. Many AUP students are feeling the burn of French bureaucracy, and when it comes to gathering the right documents, are finding themselves completely lost.
Actually, most of the students are fine with their Carte de Séjour application, and they usually bring all the documents they are requested to. When they're asked through AUP, it's very easy to complete their application. Most of the time, the main problem would be, I would say, the domicile, the proof of domicile, if they're not asked through AUP, and if they're asked by someone. So this is kind of problem.
But for students living outside of Paris 75, just getting an appointment is often the most difficult part.
Unfortunately, we cannot take care of the other students. I mean, the students living outside of Paris 75, we cannot take care of their applications. It's a pity, and that doesn't mean that we don't want to take care of them and their application. But, I mean, there are so many people that they have to share, between the prefecture inside and outside Paris. The procedure can be a bit different regarding the type of documents which are requested, and also regarding probably the time they take to process the applications. Sometimes it's very, very long.
But this proves problematic, as the Carte de Séjour is needed to enroll in the French social security system, and for some students traveling outside of France.
I recently reapplied and I got the récépissé, but this time I think I'm going to get it because I actually went to the office and they gave me a date to come collect the Carte de Séjour. They say that the student visa just permits you to enter France and exit France and come back, but you can't go to other countries like in Europe. So
what can you do to ensure a smooth Carte de Séjour process? Gather all required documents, make copies, double check with the registrar, go to all required appointments, and be on time. And if you still find yourself in the middle of a big mess, go see Beatrice at the registrar's office, and most importantly, don't give up.
That's something none of us like to deal with. Thanks, Grace. With finals approaching, the library and Basquet have extended hours. The library will stay open until 3 a.m., while Basquet has extended weekday hours until midnight. The Grand Salon will serve as a quiet study space from 10 p.m. until 12 a.m. and will offer complimentary tea and coffee.
In addition, the library is currently offering a trial run of access to ebooks and thousands of articles and essays on literary criticism and reference. You can access these through the library homepage by clicking on the free trials link. Well, that's all for this week's edition of AUP7 News. I'm Erin Stranyak.
And I'm Sarah Costlow. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 7.